Good afternoon and happy Memorial Day, everybody. We are going to dive into our CoT report from the data we got last Friday on the 24th. Just a reminder as we start off here that derivatives trading is inherently risky and past performance is not indicative of future returns. To start with the SPX, we'll see that commercials added into their net short position as we head into the end of the month and the start of our summers. We'll review our plan from last week here. These were our levels. We had 53.70 at starting our peak range, and we hit that nearly to the tick before pulling back. I had a nice entry back then through our rotational zone from 53.44 down to 5300 and almost came to our lower end of our range for the week at 52.70. This week, our levels aren't changed very much. We're looking at more consolidation into the shortened week with a potential for a month-end markup in the cards if we get over 53.44. If we do that, our targets are going to be 53.78, and then above that would be 54.17. Our rotational zone for the early part of this week is 52.93 to 53.44, and underneath 52.93, we're going to look at 52.73 first and then 52.60. Remember that starting tomorrow on May 28th, the U.S. transitions to T+1 settlement, and now prior days, high and low, are going to be even more important in the markets. Bitcoin, still not much changing here for us to act on. Commercials do have a small long position, about 190 contracts. Nothing worthwhile as we're going to wait for an outsized move, either long or short from this group, to begin seeing a better trade developing. On to commodities, gold played out well again, right over our rotational zone that we had to start the week. And commercials now have set a new 1-year max short position to hedge into their physical positions. We'll review real quick last week here. We had our upper target for our rotational zone at 24.17. And at the lower end of that rotational zone was 23.40. We got over it for a nice breakout trade on Tuesday and then right back in and through as the week went on for a very nice short on Wednesday and Thursday. And now even this morning, we're holding our lower end of our rotational zone for the shortened holiday trading. For the week ahead, we're going to be looking at 23.30 up to 23.58 is our rotational zone, with our big pivot right around 23.48. Our upper end is going to be a big lower high in comparison after two all-time highs, just shy of 2,400. And if we do break under 23.30, then we're going to be looking for 23.03. And just a quick review on the dollar. We did look at the dollar last week, and for the week ahead now, we're going to look at the 6C. But just a quick recap on our dollar setup. We were looking for the dollar to be range bound between 104.40 and 105.60 with our major pivot at 105.14 from last week. The pivot held really nicely into the bounce on the dollar. And for those that know how to use the correlations and for our students, this played out very well for our trading this past week. We won't post an analysis on the dollar. We'll save that for any professional subscribers that request it or for our students. But we can look at the dollar analysis into the rest of the currencies and equity markets for those that are interested. And right now we're going to look at the 6C as it has a pretty nice setup starting to show up. We've seen this before when commercials get max long, and we saw a bounce. We had that back here in April when the market bottomed. Then we had a nice bounce on the 6C. And now we've set a new 1-year max position looking to see if we'll set a 3-year eventually. Our major pivot for this week will be spot 7333. And if we can hold that, then our targets on the upside are going to be spot 73685 and spot 73847. If we get under 733, then our lower end of our rotational zone at spot 72975 will come in play with a lower target of spot 727. This was the move we saw in April when they built a max long position, and it was a multi-day bounce for a very nice trade, and that's what we'll be looking for to develop again to trade with the size traders and the commercials in their position, as they will try to push the market to sell into that. If you guys want to check us out, you can see us at Sticks Trading Academy. You can check out our YouTube or our website to see our Discord and our course offerings. Have a great Memorial Day, everybody, and I hope you have a good week on the holiday shortened trading.